Switchdrunk.
Back in ye olden days of the NES, Genesis, Super Nintendo, and TurboGrafx, we could always count on rock-solid efforts from certain developers. If you saw Capcom, Konami, or Squaresoft on the cover, just to name a few, there was always a good chance the game was going to be polished, well thought out, and well made. I think we need to start paying the same respect to Tengo Project, because every single one of their releases so far have been absolute bangers, the next better than the last. So far, we've seen Wild Guns Reloaded, Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, and Ninja Savior's Return of the Warriors, and now comes another retooled remake. This time it's Shadow of the Ninja, which was originally released for the NES by Natsume in December 1990, and it's a pretty good game, one of the better two-player co-op games of its time. Shadow of the Ninja Reborn is a whole new ball of wax, of course, using an upscaled 16 or really 32-bit graphic style, same as all the other Tengo Project games I mentioned, but what's particularly impressive here is that if you played the original game, Reborn will still feel familiar to you. This isn't just a company saying, hey, remember this game? Well, here's a remake. Reborn kept the original control scheme, like for example, jumping and hanging from ledges and pressing up to flip upward. The weapons will also feel familiar, at first anyway. You'll start out with a katana and a chain spear, or kusarigama, that can each be leveled up, but there's lots more stuff you eventually pick up, like hammers, throwing stars, bombs, even shotguns and bazookas, making this almost feel like Contra of the Ninja at times. You play as either Hayate or Kaede, same as the first game, and you have one health meter to get through 6 levels split up into 3 stages each. And while this game can be pretty dang challenging, the checkpoints are forgiving, which is great, because against crazy-ass looking bosses like this, when you die, you start at level 3-3, for example, instead of 3-1, like you typically would in an NES game. And yeah, this game can get difficult, but the levels are carefully designed, with many segments allowing you to sit and observe and try and figure out what the best approach is. Spoiler alert, it's not usually charging straight ahead like your name is Rambo Van Schwarzenegger, but hey, even if you suck, the game will eventually take pity on you, because if you die often enough, you'll start to see more and more health drops to help you out. Reborn does follow the original game's structure to a certain extent, but there's many more sections added to each level, so this is much more than just a remake. But yeah, Shadow of the Ninja Reborn can get really tough, and the controls do take a bit of practice to get good at, but only a little bit of practice, not like thousands of hours of practice like where Ark is playing Ninja Gaiden. One thing I keep having trouble with is selecting the right secondary item using the shoulder buttons. Every item you find is stored, and you have to scroll through them in order to find what you need. So there are lots of occasions where you'll need to find a quiet spot to make sure that you've got the right item selected, otherwise you're likely to get blown to smithereens while you're looking for what you need. Of course, I gotta mention the graphics and the music, which are both fantastic, but unlike previous efforts where we saw Tengo Project upgrade 16-bit titles, Shadow of the Ninja was of course an 8-bit title, so the graphics here are all new and they seriously look amazing. I mean, look at this! This is just friggin' spectacular! I gotta point out one other new feature I really like. If at any point you'd like to start a new save file, you start out at a shop where you can buy whatever secondary items you'd like to equip, with your best score acting as the currency you use. So this gives an incentive to actually get a high score in a game like this rather than just complete it, so that's pretty cool. That's something more modern games like this need to implement. So yeah, just a quick review here to say once again, Tengo Project nailed it, and I can't wait to see what they've got cooking next. I've come to see their games as the opposite of a nostalgia cash grab. Tengo Project is a group of folks who are just flat out good at what they do. Shadow of the Ninja Reborn is available on Switch, Steam, PS4, PS5, and Xbox, and if you grew up playing 8-bit or 16-bit action platformers like this, you're really gonna have fun with this one, so definitely check it out. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.